Today, we're going to be talking about the Wano Kuni fights in One Piece. One Piece has a lot of fights in the Wano arc alone. Some are good and others are great. But since the entire arc is 195 episodes long, you can't really determine it using brain power alone, which was the best. That's why we've compiled the best One Piece Wano Kuni fights so you don't have to. Welcome to Anime Donut, your #1 source for anime and manga news and videos. The donut is real. I left it together in one piece. Now you just have to find it. Attack on Onigashima. Starting off our list is a moment that you can argue might not be a fight at all, but let me tell you something. I really want it to be on this list because, well, I can. The attack on Onigashima only had one part where Kaido's forces and the pirate ninja mink samurai alliance went head to head. Yup, they couldn't think of a better name for their alliance, so they just combined everything, which is both dumb and smart. Anyway, Luffy and the Straw Hats alone went ahead of everybody and single-handedly destroyed all the fortresses in their way. After 982 episodes, I would be surprised if they couldn't. But that wasn't the best part, because after that we got one of the most emotional, most heartwarming, and most epic charge scene I have ever seen. Second to Erwin's, of course. I mean, bro, I almost teared up seeing how One Piece just grew as an anime. Even when I'm talking to you about it, I'm still getting goosebumps. It literally looks straight out of a classical Japanese painting. Damn! One Piece knows where to hit the spot, and I think this great opening battle scene is a great start for this great list. If you want us to keep making more videos like this one, make sure to like and subscribe. That way we'll know if you like it. Scabbards, Yamato, and Momo versus Greenbull. Okay, the first battle was literally from the start of the battle for Wano, and this next one is after Kaido and Big Mom were defeated. We have the 9 Scabbards, Yamato, Momonosuke, against the environmentalist Admiral Greenbull. After completely defeating what remained of Kaido's crew, Greenbull wanted all that smoke and decided to get the Straw Hats. Yeah, the good guys were getting completely obliterated, but Greenbull was lucky Luffy didn't use Gear 5. They still weren't losing any steam when it came to the animation, although Momonosuke did turn 3D for quite a bit. This giant dragon literally lost to a giant tree, but that was until he finally unleashed Bolo Breath. Well, this fight didn't really have that much of an impact compared to the others on this list. That's why the animation and feels aren't that heavy, but it was still a great fight. You might even say that Momo has poorer aim than a blind person playing Valorant, but he proves you wrong because you can't have poor aim when you destroy everything in front of you. Oden vs Kaido. Momonosuke was kind of a wimp as a dragon, but there's a dragon that will tear you apart limb by limb. Oden vs Kaido was just a great flashback. Who knew you could find an amazing fight in a flashback? We also gotta give some love to how they animated Oden's arms being enveloped by Haki, because I really think that level of animation and effects can only be seen when Saitama lands his final punch on his opponent. Bro might have one of the weirdest hairstyles in One Piece, with his head looking like a coffee table, but those attacks dealt some serious damage. It was so strong it was able to scar Kaido, who everyone thought was literally invincible. This man even took a Bolo Breath head on. How much balls do you need to have to do that? Damn, if it wasn't for that old woman tricking Oden, my dude would have won. Everything was in this moment. Thunder, lights, cubes of rocks, and explosions. I don't know exactly how much is in One Piece's budget, but they cannot just keep putting out these bangers. Scabbards vs Kaido. They might have flopped against Greenbull, they might have flopped against Kaido, but they did not flop in terms of hype. These guys, even though they aren't as strong as the pirates, just gave it their all, and for a moment, we even thought they could have done it. They literally had 2 minks and 2 dudes dressed up as women. They even started wounding Kaido, which again, is not something just anyone can do. If teamwork was real, then it would be them. My man Raizo even used the Uno reverse card on Kaido, using his Bolo Breath. Oden was living inside of them, and they showed Kaido that they weren't some fodders, that he could just throw around. That Oden Naitorio Togen Totsuka was insane, and we got to see that sweet, sweet animation where they literally turned into Oden himself. It's always great to see side characters pop off looking like the Power Rangers of One Piece, but sadly, this is Kaido we're talking about, and he just had to disrespect them after all their efforts. He just had to tell them they didn't even reopen his scar. Sanji and Zoro versus King and Queen. If they were the best team in One Piece, then these guys are the best duo. The Wings of the Future Pirate King, Sanji and Zoro, versus King and Queen. First off, let's appreciate how our boy Marco gave them the entrance of a lifetime. He didn't need to add the yoi at the end, but well, it was still awesome. I knew that when those bandages were being pulled apart, things were going to pop off, and Zoro instantly showed us why he's the vice captain. Animation, insane. Epicness, immaculate. Sound effects, orgasmic. Both of them just arrived and chose violence. They did a double attack against King and Queen, and although it wasn't enough to defeat both of them, it was still enough to produce those cube rocks animations, which is a sign that an attack hurts. Them debating about whose captain will become the Pirate King is like two K-pop fans fighting over which group has the best choreography. They might always want to fight each other, but when push comes to shove, they deliver. But that isn't the end. Luffy's Red Rock. This is the scene where I realized Luffy had that dog in him, because he just doesn't give a whoever you are, he will throw hands, no matter what, or a giant hand, I guess. The animation sequence where my man literally uses the power of a Super Saiyan to create a fist that's literally on fire was breathtaking. In that one punch, he was carrying the entire land of Wano on his shoulders. Their emotions, their hardships, and their eventual freedom. I just know the animators drank 10,000 Red Bulls because there was no way any normal human could do this. Just look at those effects and colors. It feels like this was a movie, and I might argue that One Piece even surpassed Demon Slayer's animation at this moment. I still get goosebumps because honestly, this is one of the greatest, if not the greatest attack sequence in all of anime. You gotta acknowledge that in this one attack, Luffy scared Big Mom and she started worrying about Kaido, which is just one big flex. Against two giants of the pirate world, this rising star was about to let the entire world know his name. Monkey D. Luffy. Sanji versus Queen. Remember when I said it wasn't the end? Yep, the wings of the Pirate Kings kept on coming. And now Sanji is alone and fighting against Queen. You also have to know that Queen and Sanji's dad, Judge, had some history together, which makes it even better, because if you can't beat up your dad, then just beat up his friend. Sanji turned into a firestorm. Even Shinra, in terms of leg firepower alone, could not match this man's Ifrit Jambe. The way the animation so seamlessly shifted from the classic One Piece style to something more dynamic, sketchy, and epic just goes to show you how talented the people working on this are. This was quite literally a fight between a French-speaking robotic man against a singing robotic dinosaur. I didn't understand anything Sanji said, but hey, it was still awesome. He might be sometimes overshadowed by Zoro, and he did do the Straw Hats dirty with the whole Cake Island thing, but this man proved that he is the fourth strongest Straw Hat. Well, at least that's what their bounties say. King and Law versus Big Mom. Now we're in the top 3, and you might be surprised that we're going to take a look at King and Law versus Big Mom. Okay, first of all, the way Law just casually dropped a massive piece of the castle on Big Mom's head while smiling was hella disrespectful on so many levels. But Big Mom had her piece as well, after Law locked her down with that long sword of his, which sounds kind of weird, but you get what I mean. My boy just kept soaking in hits left and right, but he did not give up. Kid just also came in time, and that attack of his sealed the freaking deal. Big Mom thought she could even take that hit and use her devil fruit, but you should never underestimate a railgun. Those impact frames when Kid fired the last damn punk and Law slicing Misery in half totally caught me off guard. Who had the idea? Because give them a raise. This is one fight that wasn't purely about brute strength. Law and Kid outsmarted her and used their devil fruits to maximum efficiency. That's why they defeated an Emperor of the Sea. Zoro vs King. At number 2 is a fight that literally spawned a ton of AMVs, and it's Zoro vs King. Yep, Zoro is at number 2, just behind his captain. Oh, spoilers. But anyway, this entire fight might have just cost Toei the same amount of money that's equal to one season of a generic rom-com series. Those impact frames, those attacks, that literal wheel of fire that King made was just godly. I have never seen so many creative impact frames in one battle, and personally, I think this was better animated than Luffy vs Kaido. Zoro totally cemented himself as the second strongest in the Straw Hats, and ain't no one gonna stop him from being the greatest swordsman in the world. It doesn't matter if you're a Lunarian, a dragon, or any other race, Zoro will literally show his all and defeat you. This wasn't just Zoro overpowering King, it was a constant back and forth with both of them giving it their all. I just wish I'd live another 100 years because every generation of my family needs to see this. Zoro is him, Zoro is the king of hell. Luffy Gear 5 vs Kaido. Yes, yes, and yes, we all knew it was going to be here, and we all knew it was going to be number 1. Luffy was pummeled down again and again, but ain't no dragon is gonna stop him from being the Pirate King. If you can't beat him in the classic anime way, then Luffy just decided to Looney Tune the hell out of the series. He was using Kaido as a jump rope, threw thunderbolts, and literally punched him with a fist that was bigger than Onigashima. And you have to remember that one umbrella on Onigashima is taller than Burj Khalifa. This means that Luffy's punch might just be as big as a city, or at least the same size as a part of one. In this one battle, I think I saw 5 different animation styles, which, if you think about it, has never really been done before. I have so much to say about this fight that I could dedicate an entire video on it, so that's why it's number 1. And we're about to see the rise of a new Pirate King. So that's our pick for the best Wano Kuni fights in One Piece. There were a lot of fights there, and you might have a different choice for number 1, so let me know in the comments below. And if you're a true anime fan, smash that like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell for more videos like this one. But before you go to another video, ever wondered what anime you'd want to watch out for in 2024? Well, click on this video to find out. Anime Donut rolling out.